Western region, if you can hear us, can you wave? Give us a wave and a shout. We also have Central region. We have Western region. We have Western North region. Yes, that's right. That's right. We have the Ashanti region also joining us. We have all the 16 regions actually are hooked on and joining us via Zoom. So let's take it from the base headquarters. Let's take it from the base headquarters quickly with the sound on. That's right, so you can see there that the various regions are monitoring and also following us, and that is a testimony of the fact that, but for COVID, I'm sure Accra wouldn't have been enough to contain the teaming members and supporters of the NDC, because they all relish the opportunity to be part of this epoch-making event. So roll on to take some more attestations from people who have worked closely with the running mate and soon to be Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. We'll take some more attestations as we acknowledge the various regions joining us via Zoom. Thank you very much.
I told Mr. Naana Janeas, running mate anywhere. A yaka she will lay as running mate. If I get you, you're no pound, you ever get you. Yemoko Smoko noon label me. I told me Hana Cocotte and Jago no share. Joy no way, problem be fine. No fair no noon if you're no fair no noon if you're shaffing and away say yano. No for be any be fair no chu yenchu. Why is good that she wo you. I try me Christian I try jete. Was more way if was make you anya ba kwa wono. Kono wana check him anya wo Ghana ne yin so ji many by your president no wana check him. E wa fi ne won to ni yo hu aba. E wo ke from mama e wo eku e. Ne ba ye va say ye fi anya nyi ese. Ne nya fe no kokan awo. Ayega you ale musu shan le ye bi e wo. Ewele wona agba ka woni to omoni
Pacha mi den di Augustine afole emkrofo na frame brodo hot mi ton brodo eno na e medwuma no krani mi de manage efi se de nti manage ni se ya ka se ade obema betimi aye no oba so betimi aye ana sebi ema na ya wo nimdie bebre fa ne ema bi hu yen se nti na ya se obema nya no ho kafo se yen ye nimu enye yie ye mimi nya agba na ka oba na edi omenyi so. If it's any man bebre on more bema to me, a young susuye, now not to me now so pi, and ya de good into to me need ye. Midanyamiasi, see a foul bar. Be being no young from so a foul bar. I am any jepa, me wa vim. Sunday wa fano, all fan or best ya for beyond some farm mass. I'm black.
To me, it's a fair though when it comes to democracy we are practicing in Ghana here, giving the women chance, a whole lot of women chances in a government body. To me, it's in the best position.
Fide ya de papa. Bibiala besia die ni mbia no ade na edimu. Na megidi de besia na wa be. Yankopɔ ye na Mahama adom na fi owini a nioma bekɔyi ama besia fo Ghana ha nyina. Nti na ma megini tumi no. Nti Mahama wa ya de.
Sunana Diko Usman, founder of Young Women Leaders Network. Choice in the JMA the Munji died disorder. Sumba yoba muna neman mata a shugaba kuma ya choose as running mate nga muna gan kaman komi ya whatever is going to happen she's going to include women in decision making and kom ya bari nation mu ci gaba ta aikin nan because previous aikin da ta yi duka as a minister ta yi kokari and mun yada kaman she's very competent because other running mates mazan nan ba mu gani wani kokarin da suka yi as running mates ba amma ita da tuna ta zama nan mace kuma tana ta duba yaran ta tun kanana suka yi girma mun san ta yi aikin nan kuma ta help Ghana je gaba
amara kun ko nyanya tawa totwe ya jira mele aha ga ka fifiela enye nyonu hode bene banye JMO vice president la afifi na nyento ajaba le be nyonu ocho no do fede bene nyonu o le do fe wa ton pare mi anyonu oche alo ya nyanya nyo nu poponu ta nyere de yala melo pepepe be nyonu nenye JM or running mates nyonu aton wado ajebele mo ho nya professor ata nya be mi anyonu oche mi afo nuko nuko le gbegble le mi anyonu la ho vala aton ba na mi anyonu oche la mi ayingo.
All right, so we have heard also from the streets the expectations, and I think Her Excellency's job is cut out for her, and we wish her the very best of luck. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to hear from the man who has stayed true to his character. Never, he never shakes. He remains who he has been since he joined politics, regardless of the mudslinging and the difficult terrain. And when it comes to what we are celebrating today, it is still in his character. He brought into politics one of Ghana's most celebrated human rights activists, Nana Oyelita, brought into politics one of Ghana's celebrated lawyers who helped Ghana, even in opposition, to win a border dispute between Ghana and Ivory Coast when we were at ITROS. And I'm talking about the former Attorney General, Marietta Brew, and also many other women. So it's true to his character. It is now my pleasure to invite the man who is leading the rescue mission, the man who has a track record, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, the next president of the Republic of Ghana. Please, His Excellency, if you could just wait. We have an appellation coming. We have an appellation coming.
Visionary. Over the period of his political career, John Mahama has demonstrated his intuitive ability to plan with the future in mind. He is a generational thinker and a positive-minded policymaker. Peaceful and tolerant, John Mahama's character has always been known as one of self-control, of a peaceful nature, and has truly walked in the footsteps of the late John Evans Atta Mills. His ability to calm waters, keep relationships, and manage delicate national issues is unrivaled. Resilient. There are countless examples of situations where John Mahama stood his ground on unpopular but necessary policies for the sake of the future of the country. He is tough beyond measure and has stood the test of time, and yet ready for more. communicator. Mahama's eloquence and communication skills transcend the upper class of society. His message also sinks deep among the grassroots as well as the rural folk of our dear nation. Unifier. John Mahama is an all-round team player and a group builder. The makeup of his ministerial and public office appointments cuts across ethnic, cultural, social, ideological, and even political divides. Gender equalizer. Mahama's first term saw one of the closest bridges in the gender equality gap. He is a strong believer in competence over gender and a supporter of women in high office and public positions. Religious. Mahama is a Christian by faith and a member of the Ringway Assemblies of God Church and associated with the Men's Fellowship Wing. He is committed to God's Word and teaches it among his peers and fellowship members. Success-driven. One of John Mahama's major traits is his determination to see a project through. He is meticulous by nature and pays extra attention to detail. Legacy. A chunk of Mahama's achievements are literally visible for all to see and can be identified in all major sectors: housing, health, education, power, transport, among many others. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you very much. That was a very powerful and moving song, and it inspires me to do God's work and rescue this nation. Members of the Council of Elders of our great party, the National Chairman, General Secretary, and all members of the National Executive Committee, the Honorable Minority Leader, our former Speaker of Parliament, our great regional chairman, all assembled here, chairman of our National Campaign Committee, my friend and brother Joshua Labi, who is responsible for a lot of the wonderful work you see on this campus. Well done. And most of all, my capable and elegant Professor Naana Janeas, all our party supporters across the length and breadth of our country watching this program, and indeed all our citizens and compatriots who are in your homes or wherever you are watching us. I say good evening and may God richly bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for making time to join us from all over our beautiful country and across the world. Today, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, is taking the country Ghana on yet another positive and progressive journey. 2 weeks ago, in compliance with the constitution of the NDC, I announced to the Council of Elders and the National Executive Committee my choice of Professor Naana Janeas as running mate for the December 2020 presidential elections. I wish to thank our founder, President Jerry John Rawlings, his Deputy Chair of the Council of Elders, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, and indeed all members of the Council of Elders, and also the National Executive Committee for the unanimous endorsement they gave to my choice. With Professor Naana Janeas, I can say confidently that we have made the best choice for Ghana. Of inclusivity, by boldly presenting one of our best in intellect and character as our party's running mate. Together with Naana Jane, we will work with you, each and every Ghanaian, to place our country back on the track of progress and opportunities for all and shared prosperity. This we will build on the foundation of social justice, self-belief, unity, integrity, transparency, and accountability. Working together with Naana Jane, a brilliant and accomplished woman, I have no doubt that God's grace will shine on us in the elections of December 2020. I'm convinced that with her zeal for service and her unquestionable integrity, she will greatly impact the developmental focus of our activities as a party and when we come into government. She has already begun her policy briefings sessions as incoming Vice President, ready and willing to work hard for Ghanaians. Naana's impeccable record is endless, and her reach across various sectors is overwhelmingly impressive. For example, I was glad when one of her sterling contributions to academia and healthcare as my Minister for Education was announced to have sequenced the genome of the virus which causes coronavirus disease. And I'm referring to the establishment of the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. Many people do not know that she led the creation of that institution. Leading the transformation of our educational sector as our Minister for Education, my running mate supervised the achievement of many feats that make me proud to be working with her. She converted polytechnics into fully fledged technical universities, and she supervised the upgrading of the colleges of education into tertiary institutions and led the negotiations that secured the World Bank funding for the flagship Secondary Education Improvement Program, SAPE, that saw the major upgrading of facilities in senior high schools and the construction of 23 community-day senior high schools. For most of you who remember that facility, it had to do, you remember in Parliament it was called was it Tampax facility or Pampas facility, because it involved giving women what they needed for their monthly, giving the student girls what they needed for their monthly something. And our colleagues on the other side didn't understand it, but it was a very good intervention. Furthermore, facilities in 50 less endowed senior high schools and 75 underperforming senior high schools were upgraded under this facility. Working with the educational unions and other educational authorities, teacher absenteeism was reduced during her tenure from 27% to 7%. Nana also improved the quality of basic education, which resulted in Ghana's a set of robust health policies and plans aimed at aggressively tackling and reducing maternal mortality by half from the current 319 per 100,000 live births. We shall ensure female social economic improvement. We shall enact the spousal rights law, establish exclusive and secured shelters for abused women and children, and provide opportunities for all. Ladies and gentlemen, as a Social Democratic Party, we seek to harness the best qualities in all our people to transform the destiny of our nation. And in that direction, and as the fulcrum around which our health policy will evolve, we will, before the end of 2021, introduce and begin the implementation of a free primary health care plan. This will make the provision of primary health care to all Ghanaians, young and elderly, free. Our free health care plan will guarantee a healthy people and provide a healthy workforce needed to accelerate our development. My brothers and sisters, the 2020 elections will be a referendum on the 4 years of the Nana Akufo-Addo presidency. 4 years of nepotism, 4 years of corruption, 4 years of stagnation, 4 years of deliberately abandoning of badly needed social and economic infrastructure. 4 years of dehumanization, 4 years of disenfranchising Ghanaians, 4 years of stripping Ghanaians of their citizenship, 4 years of deliberate collapse of indigenous Ghanaian businesses, 4 years of massive job losses, 4 years of economic hardship. This will be a referendum on the term of a president who has no real solutions for Ghana. A president who is hell-bent on doing whatever it takes to stay in power, including against sound advice replacing the very voters' register which brought him into office. My heart goes out to the many who have been affected by this government's unjustifiable collapse of Ghanaian-owned financial institutions. It is heart-wrenching to hear government officials justify the huge amount it is spending to manage the impact of the collapse of Ghanaian financial institutions, which they now put at a whopping 21 billion Ghana cedis. I weep for the many who have lost their jobs, the many who have lost their jobs, the many who have lost their businesses, and the many who have lost their livelihoods as a result of these policies. I pledge on behalf of the NDC that we shall, within 1 year of being in office, pay all funds that have been locked up with the collapsed financial institutions. Within our first year in office, we shall pay to all the beneficiaries all funds locked up in the collapsed financial institutions. It is a promise. We shall not put together any long-term payment plan that will further worsen the living conditions of the victims. As has been introduced in other economies, the next NDC administration will establish a financial services authority that will be responsible for ensuring that consumer financial markets work for consumers and providers and for the economy as a whole. This financial services authority will oversee all financial products and services that are offered to consumers and will effectively and efficiently prevent and stop the challenges that have confronted customers of Men's Gold, DKM, and others. We will restore Ghanaian indigenous investment in the banking and financial sector. And we will do this through a tiered banking structure in order to restore viable credit sources for Ghanaian SMEs. And we will make amends for those whose businesses were collapsed due to political victimization. We will send all contractors with valid contracts who have been sitting at home for 4 years without being paid for legitimate work done for government back to site. And we will make immediate arrangements to pay them their hard-earned monies deliberately withheld by the Nanado administration due to politics. Ladies and gentlemen, weak infrastructure does not propel growth and improvement in the quality of the lives of people. And this is precisely why my presidency took aggressive steps to develop and consolidate our healthcare infrastructure, our educational infrastructure, our transport infrastructure, and our digital infrastructure. This is how to build a resilient nation. Without creating and consolidating a developed infrastructure, no nation, and I say, can resist the global shocks that come from time to time. Just imagine for a second how Ghana would have been without the University of Ghana Medical Center. Without the Ghana East District Hospital, as the number of COVID-19 cases keep rising in our country. The speed of building and consolidating our infrastructure has slowed down because the current government is largely ignoring the infrastructural buffers that are needed to build resilience in the face of external shocks. The NDC believes in Ghana's future and will address the issues that affect you, each and every one of us. We'll build a peaceful, secure, and strong economy that provides sustainable jobs through a transformed, industrialized, and digital economy. We'll reinforce the independence of state institutions, such as the Electoral Commission, such as the Auditor General's Department, such as IOCO, and the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Single source procurement Integrity for Development Action Plan launch what I call Operation Sting. Operation Sting will be an anti-corruption crusade which under my watch will involve massive, far-reaching and practical government reform. It will be a ruthless system that fights against all corrupt political appointees and public sector workers. It will be a requirement for all who serve in my government to publish their assets declarations and have the same audited by the Auditor General. Of course, the elephantine size of government, consisting of 125 ministers or more, we have been burdened with over these last 4 years, will be reduced drastically. Is for my running mates and my vice presidential candidate. I'll save the rest for my policy dialogue sessions, which I'll be starting soon, and the launch of our manifesto in August next month, during which we'll discuss and debate the NDC solutions and plans for our jobs across the country by the end of my term in office in 2024. We will put Ghanaians back to work to earn a decent living. Congratulations, Professor Naana Janeas, the first female Vice Chancellor of a public university in Ghana, on your selection and acceptance to be our party's running mate. Together, we have made the best choice for Ghana. Together, we'll work for the women of Ghana, we'll work for the youth of Ghana, we'll work for the people of Ghana. I assure you, you have my fullest and unalloyed support. You have the fullest support of the NDC and the support of millions of Ghanaians, including young people who you have either directly trained in your long career as an educationist of repute, or those who you have inspired by your stellar achievements. We cannot fail them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to the good people of Ghana, Professor Naana Janeas, by the grace of God and the will of the Ghanaian people, the next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you, and God richly bless you. Thank you.
Shall we have a sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and pleasure to present to you our Vice Presidential candidate, Professor Naana.
Thank you very much, all of you. Nananom, my boss, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, leader of the NDC, and soon to be reinstated as President of the Republic. Any level of removing doubts and proving once again that collectively we are all capable. This is the time we have been waiting for. Alo nyemi mimale. Insa yebotu mi aye. Nyamenye yamboafo. Yeah, I know sometimes it gets emotional, for which we will not apologize, because emotions only confirm our humanity. After serious reflection, consultations, prayers, and encouragement of colleagues, of family, of my children, I am very happy to have accepted the nomination to be the running mate of the presidential candidate of the great National Democratic Congress. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is an act of faith which I do not take lightly at all. I do not underrate the huge responsibilities and expectations that come with the call. I heard some of the women. But I call on all of us to translate our excitement and approval into action for the benefit of the good people of our beloved country. I accepted the nomination fundamentally because it is an opportunity to serve my country once again, albeit at a higher level. In God do I continue to trust, that I may never be confounded. And I know the Methodists among us know where that line is coming from. I am deeply humbled by the trust of our party and nation, and I'm excited to make a good case to the good people of Ghana as to why the J&J ticket is best poised to confront the daunting challenges of our time and usher Ghana into peace, into recovery, into prosperity. It will be my mission to ensure that the voices and concerns of our children, our youth, our aged, and our persons with disabilities are reflected in critical decisions. Together, all of us, we can strategize to solve long-standing problems of needless and unproductive discrimination and thrive as valued citizens. I want you all of us, in whatever demographic category, to know that I will carry your voices forward. Together we can make this happen. This I pledge to you. I wish that going forward, I could meet you again in the same fashion we did when we started the process of framing our manifesto and listen to your concerns, challenges, and hopes for the future. It would have been my job and my joy, as I've done in the past, to sit with you in the market, in your shop, on the farms, at the beaches, by the roadside, and in the institutions, to think and plan together, argue, and even laugh at each other. But these are not normal times. COVID-19 is real, no doubt. There is no doubt about it that it is real. However, we will together find safer ways to meet and talk and plan and strategize for the good of our country. We will collectively work out the way forward so that we own our agenda. We must own our agenda in this country. Men and women together have accomplished fantastic things in our history. But I'm also acknowledged that today I stand on the shoulders of many giants who came before me. Throughout our history, women have always played pivotal roles in the advancement of what today has become our country. When duty called, our women too responded. We all have in mind great heroines who, by their actions, shattered the concept that women alone must be restricted by ceilings and limitations. I salute those many women who have made such great contributions to the advancement of our country. And just as importantly, I pay homage to those many unknown women, the silent and invisible and unacknowledged women and men who also played and continue to play critical roles in building what we now call Ghana. Now do allow me to tell you a little bit about myself, very briefly. I'm Naana Jane. I think that's news. I was born in Cape Coast. a town with rich and intriguing connections to the Ghanaian story. My parents come from the holy city of Komenda. Remember the Komenda Sugar Factory? God and man forever. I wish them peaceful rest. One of my beloved mothers, biological mother of my oldest sibling, who became a great friend, comes from Alavanyo, but she spent a great deal of her life in Pando. Mama Rose, Hedemie. Growing up as a little girl, I didn't dream of standing in this position. Not that I knew others before they benefited me. There was nothing impossible to achieve in our beloved country. I still believe these values, that other people matter too. My parents believed, and they demonstrated in our lives, that good quality education and hard work possible in this country, and what the Fourth, we must provide opportunities that transcend political patronage, connection, the practice of whom you know. We need equal opportunity and fair opportunities based on merit, and these are imperative for sustainable economic growth. The time for that shift is now. Truth be told, despite all our challenges, Ghana remains a special place where any dream should be possible, where every aspiration matters, where everyone, be it a little boy from Boli or a little girl from Komenda, and should aspire to be anything they want to be, even president, even vice president. And this is why we love our country so much. We must continue to make this country a place we cherish and are proud to belong to, a place of opportunities. In the past, and more so recently, I have had extensive discussions with His Excellency John Mahama about issues confronting our country and his vision for the coming years. These have been broad, passionate, and engaging. In John Mahama, and you have to work closely to get to know other aspects of him, you'll find a person who is thoughtful, visionary, makes no claim to perfection and admits its mistakes and missteps and valuable lessons learned from them. Surely, our society is better served with such down-to-earth, considerate, and reflective leadership. We have chosen the path of peace, inclusiveness, self-reliance, yield great dividends for us all, and us in this context should and must include generations unborn. It is our business to think about them also. Their lives also matter. It is clear that with the right direction and resolve, with all of us being part of the forward march, our country is destined for greatness. We can and must right the course of our country. We all admit that we can put our country on a firmer, more sustainable path, a path of peace, in order to move forth in ways that are meaningful and clear. At this time, I say to the SHS students who are writing the exams, let me assure you that I have children your age in the same situation too, if not biological. Therefore, I understand the difficult situation you are going through, and especially the anxiety that you have as some of your colleagues and staff got infected by the COVID-19. There are also, sadly, reports of deaths of students and other staff. The partisan nature of our politics today makes it difficult for even to ask a simple question about the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic without triggering a whole political brawl. This is not helpful. All the same, my condolences to the family. Believe us, many of us share in your loss. I ask us all to be very disciplined about following the WHO guidelines and government directives by taking good care of ourselves. And some of us may understand these protocols a little better. Let us share that knowledge. Let us save lives, no matter whose life is saved. Countrymen and women, all we are doing right now is what has been and has always been a very simple exercise of registration. What is not so simple this time is that the exercise is taking place in a time of a dreadful pandemic that is still evolving, and in our case, still rising. As if all of this is not bad enough, the level of violence, brute force, bloodletting, and sheer breakdown of law and order in an otherwise straightforward act of registering to vote is unbecoming of our country, especially of a country that until recently was hailed as the fulcrum of democracy in our region. How did we descend into this situation? The answer is simple. When there appears to be selective justice, when some offenders are not even placed on the hook, but are hailed and promoted and excused for being nasty and violent, the logical outcome is what we see. This situation of people dying, being harassed because they have decided to register to vote, it's not a story you can tell any child in the future. How will you begin that story? And when that child asks you their favorite question, why? What will we say? And if they add a few questions and they ask, so what did you do? Or what did you say? What will be our response? We need to show up and vote come December 7th. Each one of us must jealously guard our sacred right to vote and reject the attempts by some to disenfranchise some. We are all Ghanaians and we love this country deeply and we make contributions to the running of our country. Do not let anyone make you feel otherwise. The choice we have in this election is very clear. We can either build a Ghana where every citizen, regardless of background, is afforded equal opportunity to become their best selves, or we can continue on a path where a few people attempt to control and dictate the destiny of the people who have given them the privilege to govern in the first place. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let our policy diverse backgrounds, we all come together as one people under one flag, inspired by the sacrifices of our ancestors to create a great country. And everyone's ancestor has been a worthy contributor to the space we now call Ghana. This country now called Ghana, whose artificial borders, sadly, we seek to make even more artificial, as if our continent has not suffered enough from the initial assault. Everyone matters. We have come too far as a nation to still cling to our primordial tribal bigotries. This must stop. Diversity is a source of great strength. Whether you are Ga, Infante, Sisali, Ewe, whether you are Gonja, Asante, Zima, or whatever, or Mampusi, or any other ethnic group, you are valued as a Ghanaian. You have every right to walk with confidence, with a high resolve to make huge contributions to this country. Let nobody, let no one question your identity or your patriotism. It is time to put all these needless, unproductive, and downright backward distractions behind us and get on with the serious business of nation building. The time is now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the 21st century is nearly 20% over. We shouldn't be here as a country living with inexcusable insanitary conditions, with our babies still dying of malaria, our women delivering on the bare floor, our youth bewildered and unable to see their way ahead, parents confused about the future of their children and the quality of education they are getting. If we choose to be anywhere as a country, the destination should not include a place where a 90-year-old woman is stoned to death because somebody has decided that she's a witch. What is that? I call on our security agencies to convince us that she has not died in vain. As indicated, the 21st century is nearly 20% of the time gone, and we shouldn't be here. The very foundations of our democracy so threatened by unimaginable levels of arrogance, of intolerance, of violence, of human beings playing God, our economy struggling, our tongues tied to the roof of our mouths, our citizens feeling unsafe, our farmers unsure of when to plant crops due to climate change. We shouldn't be here in the 21st century, our youth perishing on their way to find better lives away from home, our institutions to which we should run for succor rapidly losing credibility. We shouldn't be here when children who should be in school are becoming unwitting brides, when we all know that marriage is not a child's business. At a time of a growing number of cases and deaths arising from the pandemic, with their attendant fears and uncertainties, at a time when some of our children are leaving school not any more literate than when they entered, others graduating into unemployment, the vulnerable and cared for, none of us should be here behaving as if the best response or the best antidote to all of the above is to flex muscles, to turn aspects of our protective institutions into agents of intimidation, and arrogate to resources and energies on ways to confront our artificial borders and work towards the inclusion that solidifies our continent. Let me assure our youth that we have not always been like this. I have had endless conversations with many of you, and I can understand your frustrations and sense of despair. But as I keep assuring you, we have not always been like this. No, as you also know, we have not always been like this. Giving up is never an option. Stay the course. As a people, we have survived many unspeakable atrocities. Read and know your history. We just celebrated the year of return, and I'm addressing the youth now. We just celebrated that. Read that history very, very carefully. And you'll notice that our history has not been a very nice cup of chilled sobolo. Yes, we are in a difficult phase, and this phase will only pass with our collective determination, plain, honest, hard work, and willingness to put in practice those values of integrity, of meritocracy, and of inclusiveness. Let's reignite the Ghanaian spirit of caring, of sharing, of kind hospitality and sincerity. We know we can. All minds linked, God our helper. I wish to assure our Muslim brothers and sisters that as our leader John Dramani Mahama has consistently done in the past, going forward, there will be none of the unwarranted discrimination directed at you, and indeed, no Ghanaian should feel alienated due to religion or ethnicity. This coming Thursday is a great day of Arafah, and the Prophet Muhammad, may he rest in peace, admonished you to fast. In this moment, please pray for us. Especially pray for the peace of this country, and pray for Allah. We will not be distracted. We shall remain focused. We will raise high the flag of Ghana. The time to do so is now, and inshallah, we will succeed. May God bless you all. May God bless you, JM, for this decision that has generated so much. May God bless our determination to serve our country. May God bless the NDC. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. I thank you for your kind attention. Good night.
Please, Ghana flags, Ghana flags, Ghana flags, Ghana flags. Let me see you wave your Ghana flags, your Ghana flags. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a better round of applause for the soon-to-be Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Naana Janeas. Thank you very much indeed. It is JM and Jane on a mission to rescue Ghana, and all are invited to come on board. You may please have your seats. This is the kind of speech when you listen to, you don't want any more added. You just want to chew on it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Please, another round of applause for Professor Naana Janeas. Let me at this point once again acknowledge all our 16 regions across the country who are joining us via Zoom. You heard from you saw on the screen from the Greater Accra region, from the Eastern region, from the Central region, the Western region, the Western North region, the Ashanti region, the Afo region, the Bono region, and the Bono East, Savannah, Northern region, Northeast region, the Upper East region, the Upper West region, Oti, and the Volta region, and the Ashanti region, all joining us via Zoom at our party offices in the various regions across the country. We are grateful that you could all make time to join us across the country. And once again, our apologies to the teaming supporters and members for our inability due to COVID-19 restrictions to open this up. Who is a member of the Council of Elders here with us. We are grateful to have you here, sir. We have Dr. Kubaji, who is also here. Thank you very much, sir. And we have Her Excellency Ambassador Anna Enin also with us. Thank you very much for being here with us. The minority leader, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, is also here representing our minority caucus in Parliament. Right Honorable Do Ajaho is a former Speaker of Parliament and a former Member of Parliament also here with us. Thank you, sir, for coming. We have Mr. Prosper Bani, who is a former Chief of Staff, also here with us. Thank you so much. We have Mr. Julius Deborah, who is a former Chief of Staff as well, and Professor Joshua Alabi, who is a campaign manager of the 2020 campaign, leading together with JM and Jane to rescue this nation. We have Honorable Kofi Ato, who is a National Vice Chairman. We also have Ms. Sherry Aite, who is also a Vice Chairman here with us. Thank you, Madam, for coming, always looking elegant. We also have the Chief Sofo Azoka, who is our Vice Chairman, also here with us. Alhaji Said Sinari, Ambassador Said Sinari is also here. He's also the Vice Chairman of the Great National Democratic Congress. We have chiefs from the Central region also fully represented here, and Ni Kinka Doona the Sif, who is a Osumanche, and the President of the Greater Accra House of Chiefs, also representing a number of our traditional authorities here. We are grateful for your presence here, Nananum. Thank you very much for coming. We have also all our 16 regional chairmen here fully represented. And I can see straight that my regional chairman is right here with us. We also have Dr. Kwesi Boche, who is right here with us. Thank you very much for your presence, sir. Thank you for coming to grace the occasion. So Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure. Like I indicated, there's no need for us to waste any more time. It is time for us to go and reflect on what we have heard, especially from the flag bearer and the running mate, on how together we can rescue this nation and bring it back onto the road of progress. I therefore will wish to invite the minority leader in Parliament, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, to give us a vote of thanks before we take the benediction.
As he then was, this is a bow for you. Chairman of National Campaign Team, my task is a very simple one, is to offer the vote of thanks. After that incredibly inspiring acceptance speech from the professor, I only can thank Almighty Allah for His grace and presence. And for this day, Allah, we thank you. And Allah, we pray you bless this ticket and let us, at the dawn of 8th December, rejoice in the President and Vice President of our Republic, John and Jane. To the representatives led by Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu of our Council of Elders, former President Rawlings, Captain Kojo Chikata, Mrs. Anna Enin, and all.